Okay, so hey there, hunters, and welcome back to the loading screen, the podcast where we talk all the shop around Monster Hunter. I, as always, have my conjoined twin, Jin Fury, over here, and we have our special weekly guest, whoever has a beard and a webcam.
What's good, my fellow hunters? Welcome back. As usual, representing the lighter side of the spectrum, I'm your other host, Jin Fury, and we've got some great runs for you coming this episode. Our guest this week is a very chill streamer who I'm sure many of you are familiar with, the leader of the Wiggler Nation himself, Mother Coconuts.
What's going on, Wiggler Nation and hunters alike? As you already know, Mother Coconuts here, Monster Hunter World's 14 weapon healer main with the heals for your feels, potions for your emotions, and tissues for your issues. It is an absolute pleasure to be here, guys. Thank you so much for having me.
You're like
Glad to have you here, man.
You're like Kanta who multi-classed into cleric.
Oh,
Yeah, I'm like, what? It just happened, bro. It's just naturally, like, I was introduced to it and it just stuck. It just stuck. It was great.
So, okay, I'm glad you brought into that, but let's go over our drinks really quick before I dive into your soul about that one.
for sure.
So, per the usual, I got wine. I know that one time I had beer, but back to my
Well,
wine.
one time.
Yeah,
One
that one
time.
time. So I am drinking a 2008 Gypsy Noir, which is a blend from here in Paso Robles. I have like 17 cases of this shit, and I need to drink it before it goes bad, because anything over like 15, 20 years and wine starts tanking super hard. So.
I'm jumping in with Leinenkugels, straight out of Wisconsin, college frat boy beer. I'm gonna get a little fucked up and probably embarrass myself. So, cheers.
I'm going to be working on something I've been enjoying for a little bit now. And first time concoction, I'm going to be using Bombay Sapphire. That's my favorite gin. Normally, I'd be mixing it to make Tom Collins. That's my drink of choice. But for tonight, I ended up walking into a 7-Eleven and I found a bottle of Sunny D. I haven't seen this shit in years. So I decided to pick it up. I literally mixed it. And I have to say, it's pretty fucking bomb. So
I was going to say, dude, I haven't seen Sunny D in fucking forever, man.
$4
You're
well
telling
spent.
me.
Easily.
You're telling me. I walked in there and I was like, all right, I know. Lemonade. And then just like 10, 20 bottles of Sunny D. I legit had to check the expiration date out of like 5
They
of
had
them. just to be
rows
like,
of them? Rows of Sunny D?
Rows of Sunny D. I go to a lot of 7-Elevens around the island where I live, and never have I ever seen it. I brought it home, and Lady Coco was like, "So you got Sunny D? Where the hell did you get this?" It's like 7-Eleven. They were lines of them. They're not expired either. Check it. September 2020. We're not there yet.
I bet gin and Sunny D is like the Russian version of a mimosa.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah.
All right, well, let's put the first one down. Let's get this out of the way quick.
Cheers.
To this week's episode. All right, grabbing one more.
Yeah. I hate chugging wine. I don't know why I do this.
That is great.
Wine is not a drink to be chugged, but whatever.
But today it is.
Yeah, well, I mean, to like this week it is, because every fucking week it's just more and more. Okay, so Mother Coconuts, as you had mentioned before, you just kind of fell into the whole cleric role, and I've been wanting to ask. I don't know if I've asked you before, but have you always been the cleric, like back? Because you played Monster Hunter games before, like back in 3U, 4U, all that good stuff. Were you always the cleric main?
No, actually. Way back in the day, I picked up Monster Hunter. It was on PS2. It was the first Monster Hunter. Specifically, like, I remember walking. That was the first game I ever purchased, actually, like, when I was growing up by myself. You know how your parents always picked up games, or like your family relatives are like, "Oh, here you go, here's a game." Nope. Your boy literally walked into a GameStop one day, looked at the shelf, and saw a picture of a Rathalos. And I said, "Wow, that looks pretty fucking cool." And I looked at my dad, like the baby Yoda holding the cup, just like, can I have this? And he's like, all right, got it for me. Fun fact, Cuckoo kicked my ass so many times, I actually stopped for a bit.
Well, dude, bird wyverns, man, they charge at you.
They charge at you, they were aggressive, and I was a great sword user back in the day, and I still am today. Like, that was my main. So using that thing against that angry bird, yo, it learned me something. And it was one of those weird situations where the game kicked my ass so hard, I had to step back, put it down for a little bit, and then when I picked it back up, I was like, why did I put this down again? And I just started going, and boom, I started getting to it. And I thought Rathalos was the end boss. That's like my little kid mind saying like, yo, the cover monster, this is crazy. So I've been using Greatsword since back then. To answer your question, to now like ride it into that, all the Monster Hunters that I played, I actually never played Cleric. I never even played Cleric on any of the other games. This is the first game, World specifically, that I ever picked up the healer mentality, the healer mindset. I always used to play what I liked in general, which, like we were saying earlier, was Greatsword. My favorite set is the Rathalos. I love that boy.
Yeah,
So,
I used to say I didn't notice you had a Rathalos tattoo until just now.
Yeah, it literally is the monster that saved everything for me. It was like my first of like the gaming world, like me being interested in gaming and getting into a community. And I wore Rathalos armor no matter what. Everyone's like, but what about this armor? It's like true endgame. I'm like, nah, I'm good. Maybe I'll change the weapon, but always was in Rathalos armor, moved up. As I played older titles, I stayed with the PlayStation genre. Once I moved over to Nintendo, I actually modified one of my PSPs to play, I believe 3 at the time, and Tigrex took over for me. Then I started getting into speed eating, so that's kind of like a story where it's changing into it. So I enjoyed speed eating. I enjoyed the aggressiveness of Tigrex, so I used Greatsword against it. My favorite was always having it charge at you. A fully charged Greatsword slam straight down, stopping it right in front of you. Like that was like the thrill part for me and my little brother who also played the game. And when World came out, I was completely overthrown. I started playing it, picked up Greatsword against it. You know what? This feels amazing. It's bringing back so many memories because I wasn't able to partake in the Nintendo genre up until like when GU came out. I purchased it for the Switch, but all the Nintendo genres kind of stepped away from me because I didn't have the consoles. But I always watched the runs. I always watched people play. I played my friends' consoles when I could. So it's like I never stepped away from it, but it was like that one thing that got away. So one day I was playing on World, basic, regular, and someone joined the lobby, and this is Kuro0. He's another streamer buddy of mine. He ended up showing me the Wiggler head. And I said, oh,
good item.
Good item. It stands out, it pops. I'm like, that's cool. And he's like, yeah, man, it does this thing. It's like wide range. I was like, wait a second. Wide range from previous games. I'm like, I never ran him because I was like, yo, what am I gonna do? Heal you with herbs till you're like max health, go
For
back, pick
4
up
hit
10
points.
It was great. And he's like, no, it works so different now. He's like, watch. Regular potions, mega potions, started going at, boom. I donned that helmet after that, and that was about 2 years ago. I have not taken, I feel like the Mandalorian of Wigglers. I have not taken that helmet off in 2 years. It's great.
Wow, so I'm surprised that someone had to show you the whole cleric role. That Wiggler helmet.
Will give him that. I will give him that credit.
Dude, where would you be without that?
I probably would be wearing either you probably just see the regular armor. I actually didn't take off the regular Wiggler helmet until the layered version came out. So y'all know you had to like use and go up against all the end game monsters, and I'm still using like this little piece of gear that just comes at wide range, but because it looked the way it did, I stuck to it for so long.
But it was also for your build, because if you're running wide range, yes. I mean, it's not a
it
bad piece for wide range.
It worked out for me perfectly, and then I think honestly one of the coolest parts about this whole situation is that growing up I used to always take the build portion of the game and go with whatever was either most powerful or what worked for the situation of the monster you're going against.
That's right.
And with wide range thrown into the mix, literally everyone would come up to me and be like, yo, check this out. I was like, damn, I can't do that. That doesn't have wide range. So I'm like, you know what? Let me do something about this. And I'll never forget the one time I jumped in a Cup stream. He had full Lunastra armor on and he had everything maxed out. And he goes, and I'm looking at this set. And it was about a year and a half ago where he was wearing the Luna armor. And I was like, wait, if you put on the Wiggler helmet with this, you can tweak a couple of skills here. And then all of a sudden you got like max weakness exploit, you got max crit boost. All these things just started getting maxed out and getting pretty up there in the skill tree. And I was like, and you maintain the wide range. Mm-hmm. So I started building and taking my mentality that way. And it worked. And all of a sudden I have these line of builds where like, the greatsword can do decent damage, but also always be able to take care of your teammates at the same time. And that was the extra challenge about it. That's actually what drove me to play wide range more, was that extra challenge of not only paying attention to my health, my teammates' health, and healing stamina, status ailments. I started learning real quick. Like as soon as I see a certain attack starting to come, I already got a null berry out in hand. Like people say like they get hit, they get blighted, and they get cured. If you had Coalescence on when you're running with me, forget about it. It's gonna be running 24/7 at that point.
Well, that's pretty awesome. And wow, I'm actually really surprised about that one too, because like it is really fun to build sets, especially like when you're trying to, you know, min-max your wide range and your free meal and your damage on top, because you don't skip on the damage. You're not just sitting there, you know, sitting back playing corner horner and, you know, drinking dash juice for everyone. So yeah, I'm actually really excited to see that someone else can take not the speedrunner mentality, but hey, I'm gonna do this and I'm gonna do this thing really well, but I'm still gonna pull all my own weight.
And you don't see that often enough.
And you don't. That's the thing, is you don't. So
bring that idea up in any other game as well, where like the healer is known to just sit back and hang out and buff everybody else and make sure. No, I am in the front lines. I'm trying. My goal is like right now I'm falling in love with bow and the mentality behind it and how to use it and combining it with wide range. I want to be one of the people who can hit 100 per arrow with my bow still, but at the same time I got max wide range, free meal, and speed eating. Like, I want to show people that it's okay to deviate from what the quote unquote meta is. Like you were stating earlier, it's important to play the way you like, but just go in at it. Don't be scared. Take that. That's why when I actually really love it when people jump in and they go, but it's not max set like this, and this. Well, that's the cool part about it. If you take this and you really boil it down, and I start explaining the whole labyrinth of a mindset of like building in general, because it's a foundation. I say, all right, go to your armory, take a look at the top two skills you need, whether it be maximum attack, maximum this, just take those two skills and sort it by armor pieces. After that, take a look at what armor pieces give you the biggest bang for your buck. After that, start putting some support armor pieces in, then a weapon. Then none of this stuff will come together like this. It takes time, it takes practice, and that's part of the fun of the game. Sometimes it gets frustrating for people, but that's why people like us here have our build set up and say, use it as a template. Don't stick to it. That's
the hardest
Monster
part.
Hunter is the game.
Is people are so rigid on their builds. It's like, dude, just build your own thing. It's not like just you know, invest some time, learn what you're doing, you know, get invested, and then you get like, you know, attached to your stuff. It becomes you.
It's you. It's your own personality.
Why is it like that? Why are people so like invested into their builds and stuff? Because unless you're really doing it for the time aspect, right? Like you're trying to compete. I don't know why people get so butthurt over it. Like the conversations you see or like the defense, people freak out. They literally freak out. And I don't know why. Like if you're not trying to compete, like who cares? Who cares how someone's playing or if they're commenting on your stuff and they don't agree with you? People literally have spazzed out on all kinds of social media, in the groups I've been in, just even in player groups, you know, if I'm doing random hunts on my PS4, and I just don't get it. I'm just like, dude, one, we're playing a video game. Two, who gives a fuck? Like, Jesus Christ, man, have some fun with this game. That's the whole point of it. This is an entertaining game. If someone wants to run nine versions of something, who cares? You don't have to party with them, right? You don't gotta hang out with them. Go do your own shit.
It's a weirdly, it's a Monster Hunter thing too. You don't see it in like other games very much. Like people are just so vocal in Monster Hunter. It's weird.
Well, it's because there's no end to Monster Hunter. Like the outside of the time thing, there's no nothing to really shoot for. And that's something that we always talk about, you know, casual speedrunning, whatever it is. Why do we play this game? The game's fun as hell across the board. However you play it, it's super fun. That's why they do it. But there is no end. You know what I'm saying? There's nothing that you can compete for per se. Like even look at the tournament that they've got coming up in Boston that we're going to talk about a little bit later. It's just an arena match, you know what I mean? Like there's nothing really set up there. So while that's a whole other aspect and something we can dig into, I definitely think that that's something I would love to see in the next iteration of Monster Hunter. I would want to see something for people to aim for. I don't know what that is. I'm not sure yet, but something more than just time that you might not even really give a shit about. You know what I mean? I think they're doing a good job with the loot system. That's probably someplace you could go with it.
I think Safi's is 10 times better for raid loot compared to Kultaroth. Holy shit.
Correct. Yeah.
I know you're not going to want to hear me say this, but because I used to have like relic weapons or whatever in the previous games, I'm all for weapons with randomized stat generation. Like, because if you're going to keep from a marketing standpoint, which is how this game's going to keep going, we've already talked about that on previous episodes. You want people to keep playing it, right? You want them to want to have a reason day in and day out to come back to the game over and over. And if there is a randomized weapon generating system, a la Neo or Diablo or whatever else you're going to run with, you have an infinite amount of weapons that, yeah, people are going to complain about. Yo, speedrunners, well, I'll never get this and blah, blah, blah. Ignore that crap. Ignore the 1%. For everyone else, the 99 other percent of players, they now have everything they could want for 2 years because you've got a schematic, and then you would, eventually it'd be like some kind of data mining. You'd figure it out of what you would want to get, but you have a reason to go for it. You've got some kind of high-end item. You could probably attach, some titles thing to it too. I don't know. I'm just speaking off the top of my head, but that's what I would like to see in the next one for sure.
No, we really got off tangent on that one.
Yeah.
Drinking, bro. Drinking.
Yeah. I gotta piggyback off of that. Kind of segue into the idea of like what I understand the 1%, the speedrunners, but the 99% that needs something to look forward to grind in. Maybe it may not have to be in the shape and form of like a completely randomized weapon, but it could be in the shape where like if you have a combination of weapons, like those are the crafting materials. You have to have this weapon, this weapon, and this weapon, combine those three to make this next tier weapon. And then that way people can attain them. They may not be easy weapons to attain, but once you have all three, then they can turn into this sort of super weapon where that's where the randomization can come in. It may come with one of the three different effects from the weapons you use to go in there. So it's something that you can grind towards, that everyone's accessible to. And then when you combine those three, that's where your RNG is. So your RNG pool is much smaller. So then that way your speedrunners, where they're like, damn, I really would like this iteration of this weapon, may not be as frustrated with grinding to get it because it can happen so many times. Maybe percentages will play into a role, kind of like with decorations. Mm-hmm. You have a point, whatever chance to get that specific weapon if you combine these three. That I think might make it seem a little more attainable. It also has to be a goal that has to be perceivable for everybody to be on board. So that was actually a really smooth point. I gotta say, I didn't know how to think about it until you mentioned it just now, Jen, where I was like, damn, that could be something for everybody.
And the only other thing that they would need to do for that is just make it not boring, because that's the one problem people have with Cove. It's just that, doing it 100 times, especially with Safi, even though the grind's not as bad, people just get bored of doing the same thing day in and day out. I feel like if they're going to introduce a system like that, the actual encounter or whatever you're doing to get said items has to also be somewhat randomly generated. So you're not always doing the same thing every single time. It could be as simple as taking the coal fight, but adding, 8 more zones that it has a random chance to burrow through different areas, and you have to do a different sort of encounter in that next zone.
They've already got it set up with what they could do. They could just use Special Arena. They could just have it be a random monster that goes in there, and then he drops randomized loot for whatever to break down, just like they've got with the Safi thing. You're talking about how Safi can be boring, but if you had a different monster or a different combination or different whatever, and it was different every time, maybe based off of, items that were put in.
They can change it every week or whatever.
Yeah, you see what I'm saying? That's more fun than doing the same. Well, here's phase 2 of Call of Taroth. Drop the 3 boulders. Let's go place these bombs here. Although I did have a lot of fun doing that shit. I don't want to say it's just after you do it like 1,000 times. You can only place so many mega barrel bombs. You know what I mean?
Weekly awoken monsters?
Yeah, like shit like that. That would be awesome.
So then when your monster's coming. You have a database filled of people. Like people want this monster. Put it on a rotation, and it's kind of like your event stuff. Hey man, Awoken Puke is going to be on this day, and then people are going to be like, why would I want to hunt Puke? Well, if you do Awoken Puke, combine it with this, boom, endgame armor, endgame weapon, whatever it may be, that's longevity, and that can be spun into a million different stories. Because now
it has to be multiplayer.
So what if they did that? What if they took the Awoken monsters? Like, I know we had talked on a previous podcast about that. There was a rumor of Awoken monsters and Awoken weapons being like the next thing. What if they did that? They made every single monster have an Awoken version, scaled it to multiplayer, gave it a whole bunch of new attacks and shit, and then they just rotated the monsters every week, and then you had a chance to get, Awoken materials, upgrade your armors and weapons to Awoken versions, and then you could dump those, because they're Awoken, back into your Safi weapons and to, get those things upgraded if you didn't want to do Safi that week either. You could do another monster instead.
Yep.
Shit like that.
Just solid. Easy clap.
Easy.
And yet we don't have this.
No, that's a little bit of work.
So, Coconuts, you've been around for a while, man. Since the launch here, and in the previous games. I want to ask you. You probably have a much different view, being an old school guy on World, than say myself, who's just kind of got immersed in it and kind of jumped into Iceborne. What are your thoughts on it, dude? What would you change, and what do you want to see come out in Iceborne in the next, what do we got, like 6-7 months?
That's a very good question. Coming into Monster Hunter World and Monster Hunter World Iceborne, I have to say it is very refreshing seeing how a company such as Capcom, this giant company that has countless titles, that they really don't need to, from a business perspective, although they should, and they do pay attention as much as they do. There have been a huge following in all the Monster Hunter games, and in the style of it, in the way that it's presented, in the way that you hunt the monsters, all these neat little tips and tricks growing up over the years that have been able to either share with my friends directly, or when Cheat CC was around, when you had to go on the internet and say, oh man, how do I fight this thing? I was like, oh, did you know if you picked up this bone pile all the way over here? Like things like that. And then World comes out. I think the move to make World accessible, it truly is an accessible Monster Hunter. And I think they, over the years of them setting up these games leading up to World and Iceborne, really paved the road for the future of the franchise. Because although you may be new, Jin, and I know Fem's been playing for a bit, when it comes to the community, they take the lead here. We're the ones that are content creators from all over that have come from a long generation ago, when that game may not have been the most popular thing, but we played it because we loved it. Now you introduce a more mainstream title where people are available and accessible to the game. And then you have content creators who truly do love the game, play this game for hundreds, if not millions of other people. I think they did fantastic with it, because the community content creators, we all for the most part know each other. There's so many of us. But we all in some shape or form know each other, or know the viewers that watch each other. And we're talking about a very small slice of this pie in Twitch. And you guys need to realize that this is something that's going to keep going forward because of people like us, because of what we're doing here today, for example, because of the passion we have for something, and then bringing everybody together like this. It should be celebrated. So they did a great job with World. What I would like to see changed is sometimes maybe the implementations of certain aspects of the game that the majority, and we're talking about, it has to be listened to in a combination of things, where new people who are brand spanking new to the franchise, to the world, and then also veterans, there has to be a happy medium. And that's not an easy thing to do. That's actually one of the challenges that Capcom should have expected when introducing a new version of their beloved. So has it gotten better? Absolutely. The introduction, for example, I'll give you the cool Taroth versus Safi Jiva. You guys have heard it countless times. Safi Jiva has been born of Capcom listening to its community and stating, you know what, we get that you felt like the weapon system for Cool was a certain way, but now we have Safi and this is how it is. And everybody praised the weapon system.
That's
the
great.
fight and everything else that came about it is different as well, and different enough that it's a positive impact. So it's a very important rule in business that you think about it like the 80-20 rule, which is 80% success, 20% is fallible, but at the same time something you can learn from. Mm-hmm. I think they definitely met that mark with Safi. So kudos to them for being able to see what that we need, put it out there, and kind of like give it a spin that everybody said you can get behind. Be like, all right, that's cool.
Yeah.
And
I was gonna say, I really enjoy the Safi in general, just because people who ask me, oh my god, another raid monster, is it gonna be as bad as Kolb? No, the grind's not bad at all. Like, getting the weapons you need, and I know the whole awakening of his weapons looks scary. You're playing roulette for the stuff you need. It's not bad. The system actually awards you the things you need as you're putting it into it. Like, it's actually a really good system. And I try to tell people all the time, like, dude, don't worry about grinding Safi stuff. It's not bad. Yep. Just go do it. It's not Kolb all over again. They listened.
And like,
I wish it was more difficult.
You wish it was more the fight itself?
Yeah.
Okay, fair enough. The fight's not all that bad.
This fight is a joke. Are you serious? Don't even try and tell me Safi is a
runs.
Okay, Jin, he can straight up drop 2 meteors on you at the same time. back to back. And
Two
just wiped the
whole
party.
meteors? Holy shit! Oh my god, what year is this? Holy crap! Two
Shut
whole
up, Jimmy.
meteors.
Don't even play the
my
fucking
God.
game.
Double baby.
Listen, there's a reason I paused, and we can get into that in a minute. But let's just talk about Safi. Let's just go parallel here again one more time. All right. So Safi is the technology from like 1997 at best. And I'm a little embarrassed that this is what we have as like the end game. And here's why. There have been MMOs that have done this system with like the loot rotation and all that for 2 decades, being completely honest with you, over 2 decades. There have been console games that have had cycled loot rotation. And I don't even mean like AAA titles. I mean like bad ones like Shadows of the Fallen and stuff like that. I mean games that really aren't that entertaining that still had a loot system, a reason to go back to it, etc., etc. Safi is so low on like what I thought we would get and what they could do. I want to see more. I want a higher difficulty. I want to see like tiers of stuff. I want different ways to beat it. I don't want to have to keep doing this thing. Oh, you drained his energy. Cool. What if I want to just, do something completely different where we go use environmental effects all the time? Or what if there's another area to tackle, a way to drop his HP? I don't know, man. I don't think that it was the best they could have done. I think it was what they had to do because they didn't know what the fuck else they were doing. And I think that kind of just shows what you touched on earlier. They're kind of doing this as they go. They're playing more jazz than just like a symphony. They're detailing this towards maybe what we're giving them as casual player base, kind of giving them information or what they're seeing in terms of their data analysis. I mean, I assume that everything's being sent back to headquarters for them to go through for all kinds of stuff. I don't know, man. I want more. I want a big multiplayer monster that everyone has to fight, like a raid boss almost.
Well,
man.
When they first announced Kultaroth way back in the day, they're like, "Oh, 16 players can tackle this raid," and then we're like, "Holy fuck!" And then like we get there, and it's like a group of 4, and then you're kind of doing it with another group, but not really. It's like they should have full on committed to 16 manhunts. That would have made the game so much more epic.
Instead, we got sniffing. We can sniff, guys.
We can sniff for 15 minutes.
I'm sorry. I never had a problem with regular Kultaroth because, like, it was doable up to a certain point. Like, you didn't have to have the best or the most strict criteria to get a P1 run. It was doable. It was very attainable. But then when
AT Kulf hit?
When AT Kulf hit, everything was out the window. And even I was like, yo, I'm literally using thousands of potions, thousands of all my items for a chance at something. I felt like I kind of want to agree with Jin here where like it was hyper aggressive, or I feel like it was hyper aggressive, the ability to get what you wanted to out of regular Kulf and then AT Kulf on top of that. But then Safi, if you're talking about loot system and possibly the fight, because the fight is very like unga bunga, like I can relax and do other things in my mind and look at other things in chat and pay attention. Like I don't have to be as invested. I feel like we had an overshoot, then there was a lot of backlash about that, and then AT came out and then everyone's like, whoa, what are you doing? Turn it down a notch. Then they're like, oh, okay. -2. Safi's style may have been undershot for some of us because now I feel like, yeah, it is a little easier. I feel more comfy at it. It did, and to touch base on what Phemeto said earlier, don't be worried about that grind because Safi's grind is a little bit easier. I play all 14 weapons and there's 20 plus builds because remember, every bow has to have its own element now. So I have plus 20 builds that I need to unlock. I actually attained that on PlayStation. I unlocked everything, maybe not like 2 bows, but I still had my previous ones, but I have the bows that I need. So I got the weapons and Safi's already out. I just haven't been playing it as much. But it's doable, folks. So maybe in the next iteration of a raid boss monster, I love the 16-man idea because, damn, I'd be damned if there was a way for me to heal 16 people at the same time.
Could you imagine wide range on 16 people?
Yo, that would be insane.
I want to see like that. The card at the end for healing amount is like 400,000.
I want that so bad. I want that card. And 2, turning it up a notch in terms of like loot system wise, kind of like what we were touching base with earlier with the Awakened style things, or you need X, Y, and Z to make super weapon. Like there's some room for improvement. I think, like what you're saying, overshot, then undershot. Now we might have like that Three Little Bears scenario. Like we might get something just right soon around the
I
corner.
swear to God, we're getting tempered arc or tempered Safi'jiiva, if not arc tempered, because Jin and all the people with the wizard hat on the PS4 would know that there is a special Dracolite that's worth 100 points. It's called a pure Dracolite that you can't get right now. But
I got it.
Well, yeah, Jin's got it. But you can't. It's in the game files. So I'm just saying, we're not done with Safi. And that's cool because my only complaint really with the Safi fight is that he doesn't change in all his phases. It's the same fight for all the phases. It's not like Cole. I like Cole because she actually does different stuff in each phase.
Sure.
And it was cool. It just nobody liked running her 7,000 times to not get the one weapon you wanted. If Safi did that, like if he had different areas that did different stuff and you tackled him differently, it would be fucking way better. But we're not done with them, so
Hey, you never know.
Speaking of not being done with it, dude, what do you currently got set up for Monster Hunter for the next couple months? Do you have any current goals? You've got your little community going on with the Wiggler Nation, man. Are you going for partner? How far do you plan on taking everything?
So in terms of partnership, that's something I definitely am looking to pursue and something I'm working towards. But now it's time, like over the years that I've been working, like the couple of years that I've been streaming and just figuring myself out as a person, as a content creator, I'm here to push the boundaries. I'm here to push the limits. I'm here to introduce a different mindset when it comes to the general content creator, break mold, so to speak. So we're definitely going to go above and beyond. We're definitely going to be show the world what a content creator, and it doesn't have to be just a streamer anymore. It can be me jumping in on my Instagram or my Twitter, just stating the general know-how. Like if you guys need to understand that we are a very special group of individuals when we're all on the directories on Twitch, we're content creating together. If we can figure out and to harness that energy, it's almost like being on the same team where you go to another directory and sometimes that's not the best place in the world to stream, or that's not the best place in the world to be in terms of how people treat each other. I definitely want to think that I'm moving in the right direction. We're working every day to prove that you don't have to be the best of the best to get that sense of satisfaction. I come from a medical field background, so it's very important to me personally that you make sure that everybody's comfortable and understands what's going on. If everyone's on the same page, things just get a lot more easier and a lot more fun, so to speak, because now everybody's involved. You never want to have that one or two people left behind. You never want to have even content creators in general. Like when you have someone host you or someone, whether it's big or small, man, we're all doing the same exact thing. So it's kind of cool to be able to get those people together and show them that it humbles me, honestly, when I get message some people that I'm like trying to help out or assist that haven't been around or haven't been streaming as much, and they go, oh my God, I can't believe you're giving me information to help. I'm trying to be that content creator, that streamer that I wish I had when I first started,
Yeah.
And it doesn't mean that you carry them, just means I'm a wealth of knowledge. It's like going to a library or Googling something, except
a virtual cornucopia.
Yes.
Success.
Well,
we have it.
And we're a pretty tight-knit community as it is. I mean, Monster Hunter is pretty tight. I think everyone knows everybody in this community.
Wu-Tang!
It's kind of crazy. So, I mean, yeah, spreading that vibe around there, I mean, it gets around.
It gets around, man. And I gotta say, Monster Hunter is a place to be that kind of person. Like, I had that mentality when I was streaming Overwatch back in the day, and someone like me, bro, Widowmaker main.
See, I wouldn't recognize that because I don't play Overwatch.
No one would ever know. They'd be like, yo, DPS, Widow, what are you doing? It's like, no, I tried being that kind of person in the Overwatch community, and it worked to a degree, but it didn't resonate. It's like hitting a tuning fork on a certain item. It's just not going to give you the same tone, the same reverberation that you would if you properly did everything. And my personality resonates within the Monster Hunter community. Everybody knows everybody. Everybody supports everybody in some way, shape, or form. And I see it, and I like to show that. It's like people in this world in general just don't say good job to each other as much as they scrutinize each other. So that's why this whole conversation on the build, love, really kind of hits me a little bit, where I'm like, I love seeing those kind of people come in and they go, man, this isn't meta, this and that. I'm like, nah, we're not gonna get frustrated at the fact that you think like that, but try what you want. And they're like, oh, okay. They try a couple runs. They do their own thing. I guarantee you guys. Here's the secret: you build something yourself, and you get to that quest cleared screen just like everybody else. You'll feel 10 times more satisfied than if you built something that has like 100 macho points and like everything's gonna be just kicking its monster's ass. And then you're like, all right, I was expecting to get this result with that build.
Yeah, and see, that's the thing, man. We're all for the same thing. We just want that quest clear screen. That's all that matters.
No,
That's like
that's all that matters.
Bay, who's another streamer, tweeted out the other day, like, I finally soloed like Arc Tempered Nergigante, and it took me like 700,000 deaths to do it. I'm like, but you did it. That's all that matters. You fucking did it.
You probably
so
felt
it's like,
amazing when that happened.
it's like, doesn't matter, man. You got
Did
it.
a backflip, bro.
It's all
They,
anyone wants.
If they had a world leaderboard, and I think I brought this up last time, that every single time you finished, it just showed your position and how you did against whatever the monster was, whether you're doing multiplayer or whatever, that would totally change. And I think over time, how people view the game, because then people, even casual players, would start having something to look at. Right now, you have a time. And that's literally it. You just talked about it yourself. You have a clear screen. Yeah, we did it. Woohoo! Thank God we did it. And then what? Like, there's nothing. There's literally nothing other than going back. Nothing to improve. Even if you want to talk about like speed running or whatever it is, man, that's all self-created versions of trying to increase your time or improve your time. There's nothing that the end game here creates outside of what the community has already made. So I'm really hoping for that leaderboard stuff, dude.
It's almost like you could have an extra card on like the corner stating your time with like a leaderboard-esque card that's always there that just gives you like the one above and the one below. You don't need to know and the number of where you are at. Huh.
Anything. Just something to show a database of everyone. Even if you got 000 at the top and everyone's bullshitting, I don't fucking care. I want to see where I'm at, in the base. They could have someone clear the leaderboards or go through or pay someone $8 an hour.
Or like weekly it's done or something like that.
Yeah.
All right.
Oh, look, a bunch of zeros. How hard is that?
And it's not even just like that part. It's also like if you had that, you could see, okay, I am at this spot, and then you can watch yourself improve and climb the ladder and be like, oh, look, I'm doing better. And okay, maybe you're not playing, 100% DPS, meta build, but if you can see your own growth on the ladder with whatever you build and whatever you're doing, that's important to you. And that's what people need. They need stuff to encourage them to play more and play better and help themselves, regardless of any sort of meta. Because all you need is just to be like, oh, look, I'm here, and now I'm here.
Yeah.
And you know how they do that? By upping the difficulty. That's what you do. You up the difficulty so you make it to the point where people are going to get hit. People are going to need a healer or going to need to pop up instead of being able to do what we do right now, which is theoretically lock a monster down, do the whole wall bang, tenderize, blah, blah, blah. You know what I mean? I think that's the only thing you could really do is find a way to make it tough where you required, maybe, I don't want to say required healing because that's probably the wrong concept for this type of game.
Especially because gunners get one shot.
For sure, exactly, because of the 75%. But you see what I'm saying? Like, there just needs to be more of a reason for it, outside of us creating it in our own drive of, oh, I want to see if I can beat this with this weapon while I'm using this kind of set. That's all.
It's almost like having the right combination of stuff at the end of the day. What is every build in this game? What is every single run you go for? You're looking for the right combination of things to either A, happen against you fighting a monster, or B, having the right combination of working things for your personal play style. And it's like the whole healer idea and concept of needing one, it's never there. And then whenever you have one pop in, it feels amazing because all of a sudden you can either play more aggressive than you normally could because this person's got your back, and then that lets you learn a couple of extra strategies. All of a sudden you're spending more time trying to iframe these attacks instead of not getting hit and just taking 10 steps back. You're in the fire. I've seen so many players where like they would just start out the game 5 days fresh and I'm working with them, I'm healing with them, we're having a great time. Then all of a sudden, you take me out of the picture, they start playing like, damn, I can't play the game like I normally do. This is weird.
I can't go unga bunga.
I can't unga bunga. That's all I do. Then over time, you just see them grow. And then I tell them, whenever you're playing with me, go ham. Learn how to iframe dodge. Be comfortable with the monster because no matter what weapon you pick or play, everybody's got to know how to like deal with an oncoming attack or get a tell. Like when a monster kicks a certain way or does a certain move and you know it's coming at you a certain way. That's just stuff you naturally pick up. And I I always stress a lot to everybody, pick up on those kind of habits and things because it makes it better. And to tie in with what we were saying earlier, having that leaderboard, that time, that self-attained goal to be able to work towards would just make things so much better for everybody as a whole. So I definitely do agree with that. So cheers on that, man.
Put it down, guys. Chug number 2.
Delicious.
Especially because you got their back, so even if they get hit, don't give a shit, man. You'll be at full in 2 seconds anyways.
Yeah, there's no need to get upset. Hey, you got hit. Guess what? By the time you got back up, you're literally HP.
Except if you're a gunner and you get one shot, because
yeah,
that's what happens.
That's the theme. If there's anything you learn today, children, it's don't get one shot.
It's so hard to be a gunner. You get hit one jillion damage compared to a melee weapon. Like, oh.
Hey, light bowgun does not do that much damage.
Oh, really? You haven't seen the ledge light bowgun or like a 3-minute run on something with LBG? Shut the fuck up.
Yeah, okay. Ledge light bowgun, that's a little different.
You just did some. BJ just did like a 3-minute run on something too. Light bowgun is sick as fuck. Like I don't know what you're
No,
talking
it's cool.
about.
I'm just saying it's not, overpowered compared to melee weapons like bow and heavy bowgun is.
It's nothing is right now, but it's definitely overpowered. It's 100% overpowered compared.
Light bowgun's not. Light bowgun's a chill weapon.
I disagree. I definitely disagree. Can you hit R2 and circle and pretty much win every fight?
No, you can't, because circle drops a landmine. Dodge is X.
But so you're not going to use mines? I don't even think you're going to. Do you even need to dodge with light bowgun?
Not really.
No, you don't have to do shit.
That's why we run maximite on light bowgun. It's because you don't have to dodge. You can just walk away from everything.
Oh my god, dude! All those range weapons are just so good. I love them, man. They're all very, very fucking broken. But yes, I think HPG and bow are in a tier kind of on their own.
Yeah, those two are definitely, those are above. You have, everyone's like, what are the best weapons right now? I'm like, well, we're not going to talk about these, but all this stuff is fine. Like charge blade and long sword, and that's cool. And like, what about what's the top tier? Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it.
Don't worry what that is. Don't worry.
You're not ready for that yet.
Damn right. Well, at the end of the month, we do have the North American Championship coming up. Do we know who's going to that? Who we think's going to take home the gold? I know Phemeto kind of decided to bitch out and not go this year, so I don't have a partner, unfortunately.
Well, not only am I... Okay, I'm not going this year because I didn't really have fun last year because I embarrassed the fuck out of myself, but it's also on Boston.
You're way too hard on yourself. You're way too hard.
If you guys don't know, I'm in California, and Boston is literally the opposite side of the fucking country, and so that would take a 10-hour plane ride, which would cost me $400, and I would lose 3 days because, fucking 10 hours there and 10 back, that's might as well lost a day. Yep. And it was just, it seemed like just a huge pain in the ass to go. So I don't.
But you get to see me, but I'll be there. Me.
So are you, okay, that was my question. Are you actually going even though I'm not?
Not if you're not gonna go.
Oh, well then, okay, then.
I'm trying to go up there and get wrecked, dude. Fucking rouse the bar or get fucking wild. I can't do that shit with, I don't know. Need a buddy for that shit, man. Need a buddy for that shit.
TSC's going. TSC was my partner last year, and I don't know who his partner is this year, but he's going. So I expect him to win it, though. And Moko, I know you and NYC are going, right?
Yes, I'm going to be heading over there. I'm trying to still figure out what's going on with this whole guest ticket thing because everything went out, but I will be there for the online event before they open to just wait around 7 o'clock or so to pick up a ticket on the floor. I want to be a part of this, man. I heard last year's run was fun being over there, but the same exact story Fem just said, I'm over here in New York. I am on the other fucking side. So I would have to have similar experiences to go travel out to Cali to be able to head over there. So I said, you know what? It's in Boston. I'm doing it. And then I already got my PAX tickets, which is hilarious because the hotel date stays the same. I just have to show up earlier on Saturday to be a part of the festa. Yeah, the day after is my final PAX day. The 29th is the festa. So I'm going to be going to that. And then Sunday, March 1st, is PAX for me. Meanwhile, PAX started the Thursday before. So it's Thursday, Friday, Saturday's PAX and festa. Then Sunday's my day of PAX.
Oh, wow. So you're going to have a whole weekend, man.
I got a whole stuff going. Yeah,
this could have been us, man. This could have been us. Look what you did. You're fucking this up, bro. Fucking this up.
I don't know, man.
We still can go. We still can go.
Technically we could.
We could
let's-
Photoshop you if you really wanted.
I got plenty of time to practice.
I'll have.
Plenty of
If
time.
Yeah.
Jin goes, I'll take a
Jobless
picture of
Jin
him
over
holding his
here.
arm like this.
Ah!
Like, I mean, yeah, I could still put in the vacation request to go.
We'll talk about it off the screen.
I'll think about it.
Yeah.
'Cause I know a lot of people are going. Do you know anyone else in the community's going?
Herney's
Sam's going.
Oh, Ernie's going. Oh, Sam's going too.
Yeah.
We're
And
trying
Bits.
to
I
plan
think
up a
Sam and
dinner
Bits are going.
actually.
Oh,
We're
and
gonna see if we
Biggs.
can come up with a dinner. Yeah. We're trying to
Cups
go for a
can't go.
barbecue
I know
spot.
Cups said he can't go. He won't be there. I don't know who else is all trying to fly out. I've just been kind of hopping on the Discord, just spying like, hey, you motherfuckers going? Huh? All right,
Find
man.
out who's going.
I'm trying to get you to go, but you're not. Problem.
Might be fixed after this
I'm
one.
busy, man.
Might be fixed. You ain't busy with shit. Shut the fuck up. You stream a game that you don't even want to play half the time. Shut the fuck up.
Fair enough. I'm in a vicious cycle, man.
A vicious cycle. Oh god, that would be a good Monster Hunter clan name. That would be a really good Monster Hunter clan name, the Vicious Cycle. I'm
If
all
they ever
for that.
gave us 16-man hunts, we might need one.
Bruh.
They gave us like these Monster Hunter clans and groups and like your guild card, and it's like nobody uses them. Like
Nobody
uses them. But if we had 16-man hunts, we might.
Mhm.
I'm really hoping we get that. They don't even need to make it like where you're all kind of involved. They could have it where you all like fighting a different body part, and based off of what you do, you get different rewards. I just want interactivity. I don't want, hey, if you guys all sniff the same thing at the end of the final raid at turn 6, everyone gets some loot.
Okay, Jin, what if they did it like Bizarro Sephiroth from 7, where you had groups split up doing different parts of the monster and had
Love
to do
it.
their own
Perfect.
side?
Perfect. Absolutely. Mwah, mwah, mwah. Love the idea. All for it. Let's sign up right now. Someone call Capcom. Put that shit in the hat. Let's get this shit going. Phemeto just came up with a gold medal idea, ladies and gentlemen.
It's a wrap. That's it.
That's it. That's a wrap.
Got ideas.
Let's see what else we got going on. Variants. So we had the variants that were supposed to be coming out, and that got delayed a little bit because of some health stuff going on the other side of the world.
Yeah.
Does anyone know when we're gonna start getting a little bit
Did
more
they
news?
say? Because
Maybe?
it was when
I
Rajang
haven't heard
update
anything
came out on the
myself.
6th that they were supposed to announce the variants. Now,
Okay.
here's the thing. So the variants are coming out in a month. Next month on console, they'll be out. And they get them before PC. They get them a couple weeks before.
They're just not announced yet.
They're not announced,
Right.
but the longer they delay it, I mean, that's just a less of a window that we know what they are before they're coming out. Because they're coming out on this date. We just don't know
Yeah.
what they are.
You
So,
just have to tell us before that happens.
like, is there any other event? Like, I'm thinking, dude, are they going to do it at Boston with the Monster Hunter Fest after that tournament? Would they announce it?
That'd be huge. He's gonna be
I
there,
mean,
right?
honestly,
When everyone's
didn't
gonna be
Monster Hunter
there.
Festa just come out of nowhere too, though.
It did.
Like, I remember seeing the tweet. Like,
That's
I was
right.
at work and I was like, "Oh, that's awesome. Let me go check this out later." And it was already sold out. Like that was sudden out of nowhere. I didn't expect that at all.
It was like this. It was this year, wasn't it? It was like a month ago they
yes,
announced
it was like a couple. Yeah, like 3 weeks, 2-3 weeks ago. It was just literally out of nowhere. I checked my Twitter feed. And I was like, "Oh, what the hell? That's cool." Save and oh, here we are. Everyone's getting hyped about it.
Yeah, I wonder if they would announce it at the end of that. I mean, it would be super weird because they always do it at the end of like a Japanese base festival. Because obviously, Capcom and Monster Hunter are based in Japan, so whenever they do their thing, then we get the leftovers. But wouldn't
Table
that be
scraps.
crazy if they like announce it after the end of a North American event?
They would,
That
but
would
that
be-
would make
that would be
America have a lot of power over those countries over there. I don't know if that would be allowed.
We got something
They'd
first.
be like, oh!
And then our server shut down for a week.
Yeah,
Dun,
right.
dun,
Yeah.
dun.
Something went
What
wrong. Now
happened?
no one can play online. Great. Thanks, Capcom. I don't know. I'm excited. I know we talked the last time about variants and stuff, so I don't want to dive too much into it. But I mean, it's not that far away. It's a couple weeks out, and that
It's
means
coming,
new
folks.
weapons, new armors, 2 new fights.
It's not going to be Rusted Kushala. It's not going. It's going to be something brand new. It's not going to be something we've seen before. I called it last time. I'm pretty sure I'm right on this one. It's not going to be something we've seen before.
So you're thinking 2 new monsters, 2 new variants?
Yep. Something different. I mean, we already got that creative one with Ice Legiana, which I was very, very excited about. That was one of my favorites that we had come out. But I think maybe they're gonna go a little bit deeper, one layer deeper this time, and probably give us something creative. I'm pretty excited.
I still want a variant for Velkhana. It's the flagship. Nergigant already got his variant, and he was the flagship for the last game. So I would like to see Volcana get one. I want to see a black ice Volcana that's just always, in its ice state that you cannot break it. It is just hard as fuck ice. And it's just always
almost
angry
like with
Volcana.
the celestial effect of like a clear black ice that you just see
with like
through,
little speckles in it and shit.
Yep.
Dude, that would be amazing. Holy fuck.
Maybe that celestial armor was just a test of a skin for a monster. Who knows?
Let's put this into like 11 out of 10 territory and make it so that whenever it's on the Hoarfrost Reach, it's always automatically turns to night.
And that could be doable.
I mean, if you want to kick it from an 11 to a 12, let's just give him a gun too. Volcana, black ice with a gun? Shit. That's DLC fucking material, bro. That's DLC
beams only,
material.
Bro.
Fuck that beam, dude. Okay.
He's always he's like a fucking drone. He fucking drones you. He just comes in.
It's the worst. That beam, please, fam, touch base on that beam. It felt like you just got passionate about that beam.
Okay, that beam, first off, one, the hitbox is bullshit. If you try dodging through that thing, like, I don't like laser hitboxes in Monster Hunter in general since forever, because they're never exactly where they show they are. They're a little bit expanded past that. So one, dodging into it and trying to like iframe that beam fucking sucks. It's inconsistent as all hell. Second of all, as being a cheese glutton user with shield heavy bowgun, if you try to block it, the block is jank as fuck. I had a stream like last week where he did it and it blocked. I'm like, great. And then he did it again and I didn't block and I just straight up got one shot. I'm like, whoa, what the fuck?
You deserve to die, you glutton user.
I know. I use glutton. I deserve death.
Hope he
I
kills
get
you
it.
and everyone who uses that fucking gun. Jesus Christ.
And then Capcom gave us
got like a 126 TA run on Volcana now. Fuck that weapon, man. What the fuck?
They gave us 3 of them.
Quit your gear.
Oh my god.
Fuck that.
Oh, that beam is something else, bro. I can't.
They gave us 4 of them in Iceborne at least.
Oh my god. Oh my fucking god.
You
Fat wants to take this next one right here.
What are we doing? Oh, yeah, sorry. So, Moko's playing on PC. Jin's getting around to it. So, Moko, modding is in full force on PC. Do you have any favorite mods right now?
No. I love the phrasing of the question, because I have been paying attention to what mods are out there. And I personally don't use mods, but I do listen and talk about them with a lot of my viewers. Favorite mods? Well, other than the basic ones that you need to have installed, like the mod that literally shoots up Pillars of Lights, bro. You need it. Not the one that comes with Iceborne, because that one's weak as hell. The Pillars of Light mod. You have Special K that came out. These are things that people need to kind of be aware of and be able to install for quality of life and just making the game look pretty. But my favorite one is the Duck Hammer mod.
The Duck Hammer? Oh, that's right. That was a Frontier weapon, wasn't it?
Mm-hmm. That was how I remember tuning in to Candace's stream and just saying, like, new mod, who's this? Hammer comes out, it's a fucking giant duck. I lost it. And it's little things like that I adore and enjoy. The Wiggler mod, you're talking about the coconuts here. The Wiggler mod, every NPC, everything is a Wiggler.
All Wiggler every day. Beautiful.
So speaking of mods that are purely cosmetic, let me move this for a second.
Kieran Penis.
That's a whole nother thing. But Crimson, who does a lot of visual effects mod, came out with a new one. It's kind of like Light Pillars, but it's not as abrasive. It is just take a look at it. I sent you a thing. It's got a couple pictures. It's pretty baller shit.
Oh, holy shit. Hell, this is the best mod
It
I've
turns
ever
all
seen.
the item drops into like little indicators, like if it's a slinger ammo, is it a monster part, is it just bounty material from the Bayonet Mantle, shit like that. It is
Capcom, please pay attention. Oh my god,
it's cool shit, man.
That's awesome. That's like AAA shit, dude. If you got Fem, I know you're gonna have the mod showing up here, but wow, that is just gorgeous. That looks how I didn't realize how bad I wanted that in the game until I just saw that.
Right?
Let me just put it that way. Shit. I didn't realize how bad I wanted that until now. That's cool easily the best mod.
Oh, that's sick. Next level, bro.
Yeah, Crimson just pulled that out yesterday, and he sent it to me, and I was like, dude, that is cool stuff. Like the Light Pillar alone. great. I like the notifications, but now I can also determine, what the item is automatically. It's got a nice little light effect. It looks really clean. I was like, fuck, dude, that's amazing.
That was a wonderful idea, and I can't remember where something like that was implemented in that fashion. It's like you have color coordination, and then regular light pillars is just, hey, we're gonna just tune up the fuck out of this item and just make it be seen. You're still not gonna know what it is, though. It's just, here it is. Now this is taking it to the next level, and this is something in the modding community that they're able to do that is just a reason, in my opinion, why this game is becoming what it is on PC's market. It's a lot of improvements. It's showing creativity, and honestly, it's people like that right there that when they come up with something like this, that's actually a huge discovery, and that's something that Capcom can see and kind of work with and say, this guy is thinking about the future. Like I would have never thought about anything like that, and even seeing it almost feels like it belongs in the game.
Right? It's cool stuff. I love it. It's
Wow.
That, and then I think my favorite mod would be there's one for blood effects that got updated for Iceborne. Crimson also did the blood effects mod. And then there's another one called Wounded Monsters. So rather than being all like white and scarry when you break their parts, they're red. It looks really nice. Because if you didn't know, in previous Monster Hunter games, for all you out here who only started playing with World, there was blood and part breaks and stuff like that. And the reason why World doesn't have it is because it's got a China release and the other games don't. So Crimson,
goddamn Chinese, always ruining this shit for everybody. I'm fucking sick of this shit.
So Crimson made a blood effect, and then they also updated the wounds for Iceborne, which just makes the game look, I wouldn't say better, because honestly, I don't think anyone really cares about the white and scars and the rocks, but I got tired of shooting rocks off monsters. Tired of getting my rocks off here. So I like the blood. It was actually a nice touch. So I think those two
Bring back cutting monsters in half.
Right, wait. Oh, what?
Velociprey. Back in Monster Hunter 1, if you hit them mid-air only, they got cut in half, bro.
Right. Forgot.
That needs to come back. I don't even know what that
That
means.
was actually kind of cool. The interesting part is that they immediately disappeared and they were uncarvable.
Yeah. You fucking obliterated a dinosaur with a greatsword, yeah.
You blew it up, bro. You fucked up. You ain't getting this carve, homie. It looked cool. That was your carve.
Style matters, man. It always matters.
What if you got style points like in Devil May Cry for how you killed a monster?
Dude,
that would be right. You know what I
holy
mean?
fuck, that would be so cool.
Someone needs to make that mod because I would
Triple S! Yeah! Cut that motherfucker's head off. Hell yeah!
Sepho Red would have like every platinum trophy on every monster because it just fucking dunk kills
Styles. Straight up style. And Seth would style on everything, dude. It's great.
Yeah.
With
That's what I
Capcom.
want.
That'd be cool. And
I will give you better ideas.
So speaking of, because I know we talked about it way back, Capcom has been on a roll lately with all their games, with the Resident Evil remakes, which 3's coming out soon.
Yes.
And 2 is amazing. Devil May Cry 5 was fucking amazing. Monster Hunter has been killing it. And
super good.
They need to incorporate some other stuff like, what they do with Devil May Cry and the styles and stuff into Monster Hunter. That'd be great. Because they can. Because we've seen all their other games that they've been coming out with lately have been fucking just amazing, over the top. And I got to give it to Capcom because they've been crushing it.
They're attacking everything on multiple fronts, folks. Like, they are literally paying attention left and right, dropping this over here to this fan base over there. Once they like that, they go over here. Then they throw in Monster Hunter and they say, you know what, we're gonna do a collaboration with both of these guys. And now we got Dante gear and we got Resident Evil. They are literally all hands on deck going forward, full force, just no fucks given. It's amazing watching them do that, especially with like a touch and base on Devil May Cry. They're coming out with a DMC remake, which has updated controls.
Oh,
that's something I'm picking up. DMC 3.
Oh,
It has style changes now. Like, you can, like, it's not like the other games. It's almost like a DMC 5 mix where you're playing as fluid, like literally combo, then you're going gunslinger, then you're going royal guard. You're literally changing live. Now they have that in DMC 3. I'm getting that. I'm gonna be picking that up for sure. So they're thinking about it, and that's also cool. I believe you guys touched this on a previous episode where it's like they're doing remasters right. They're putting them out, either updating the graphics to modern day graphics, but more importantly, the gameplay. The gameplay's changing, even the tiniest tweaks. Like, people said, DMC 3, let me change my style mid-fight. I don't want to have to press pause, go royal guard, and then go kick something's ass and go back into it in a millisecond. I want to do it on the fly. Bro, they did it.
Yep.
They did. People asked for it. They did it.
And that's why I'm curious to see where Monster Hunter is going to go, because Monster Hunter now, because of World, is way up there. Best selling game they've got. I'm excited to see where they're going to go with this, because
they're only going to do this.
They're crushing it right now. And I mean, first off, there's never been a bad Monster Hunter game. There never will be a bad Monster Hunter game.
Yeah, there was. It was like 8.
No, there wasn't.
Oh, my bad. Can you name 6 that sold more than 1 million copies? I can't, other than World.
3, 3U, 4, 4U, Gen, U, World,
Ah,
Iceborne.
so 3. You just said 3. So they had how many iterations before that?
I'm pretty sure.
My point is proven.
I'm pretty sure Portable 2 sold more than 1 million. I think so.
Oh my god. More than 1 million.
I know,
you know there's 6 billion people in the world, right?
I know
6
4
billion?
and 4U sold 4 million apiece, and that was cool. Because 4 didn't get a US release. Okay,
this
Monster
is the
Hunter
greatest game probably ever made. Monster Hunter World is one of the greatest games ever made. Everything before it was not that good, man. Like it had some good stuff around it.
I humbly disagree. 3U
I know you do.
was straight up amazing. The only problem with 3U was camera controls. Because on the 3DS,
and that nobody played it. It was you and like 14 dudes all on one Discord.
A lot of people play 3U, dude. Have you seen the 3U commercials? The 3U commercials in America are fucking amazing, by the way.
There were commercials?
There were commercials.
There was never a commercial.
They're so good.
Like a 4-second ad, like on the back of something.
Google
like,
it.
come on.
Just go to YouTube and look up 3U commercials really quick.
Oh my god.
I swear to God, the commercials for 3U were so good. I'm gonna.
I played almost every video game ever, and I never played the old because they just looked so bad. They just looked so bad. I'm sorry, man. They when you look at what Monster Hunter came from, I'm so impressed to where it's got right now. Because Monster Hunter World, by the amount that it sold alone, I'm not alone in this idea that this is a fucking phenomenal game. This game is so damn good. I just want it to keep getting better. That's why I feel bad whenever we talk about anything negative or even constructive criticism about the game, because I have probably sunk in 2,000 hours, if not more, into Monster Hunter World, man. This game is incredible. I love this one. I just don't think the old ones were that good. And I know I make a lot of jokes, and they probably were, but I'm just saying this one's on a different plane. There's no doubt about it.
I think that anyone who talks criticism about any game, anyone who does any criticism about a game, I think people who do that are more passionate than anything. They like the game, but they see the flaws in it. And they want those flaws out there so that they can be ironed out and improved later down the line. Look, anyone that plays Monster Hunter over 100 hours, gets through the story and starts getting to the grindy part, they know what could be improved. However, that doesn't necessarily take away from the fun and the just awesomeness that is this whole hunting genre that it is. It's just we're aware of the problems, but it doesn't stop us. We just want the problems to be known because we want it to be better next time.
One of the best ways to put it is, you only play through the game once. That's what you remember. Anything after that is to improve. So your first playthrough, whether it was regular Monster Hunter on PS2 or 3U, 4U, GU, or World, that playthrough, that experience, that gameplay is the presentation, and just like any interaction you have, that's Capcom's first impression. So that, I feel like the feeling that Fem has, the feeling that Jin has, the feeling that I had when I walked into a fucking game store and I saw a Rakdos on a wall and said, I want that. That's a part of the package. Then me playing through the game. I will never forget my first run through of that game. And now Jin saying he played through the game. He sunk so many hours into it because he fucking loved the way it ran.
Oh yeah.
And he has those passionate criticisms of the game because he wants to see it succeed. He wants to keep on playing the game. And Fem's just sitting there just blasting the shit out of everything he wants because it's what makes us happy doing it. So it's kind of cool that you guys are bringing that up. And I agree with Fem 100%. The fact that we talk criticisms about it is not because we want to shit on the game in general. It's just you need to be able to sit with like-minded individuals and put these information, these things out there for others to see also, because some people may be on the cusp of what we're thinking, but may not know how to materialize it. And here you are. You're watching this video now, folks. Boom. Fourth wall break. It is bringing it home. So
if you're not playing Monster Hunter, you need to play it. I think that's pretty much the summary of the entire conversation. If you have not played Monster Hunter, get on it.
Moko, how many hours do you think you've played Monster Hunter just in general across all
games? You can
games?
look that up. Oh, no, not in general.
No, all games.
All of the Monster Hunter games.
How much of your life is Monster Hunter?
Careful, you might not even want to say that amount out loud, dude.
I know, dude.
Oh my!
I'm sitting here thinking.
I could have kids.
There's a mini Coco somewhere out there who's at least a couple of years old and worth of time. Just like, I love Monster Hunter. That's that coconut sitting out there right now. It definitely, like, let's put it like this. World, definitely over 2,000 hours cumulatively.
For sure. Respect.
I gotta figure out how many
other Monster Hunter titles as well. Just cut. And remember, folks, oh my god, I'm 26 now. I got a full-time job. I don't have as much time as I used to back in.
You're telling me? Wait, you're 26? Fuck, I'm older than you. Jesus Christ.
Damn. I'm sorry. If you can freeze time, I'll grow up a little bit more. We got this. I'll catch you up. I promise.
You guys are old.
Well,
Jim, what are you, like 35?
I'm 53, dickhead. Fuck off.
Yeah, okay.
But definitely, we're talking about like at least five plus grand in total hours.
That's a
That's
lot
awesome,
of your
man.
life.
Yeah.
And that's the thing,
that's a big chunk.
Yeah, I mean, I swear to God, just
I
World
grew up with
alone, I have at least 3,000, 4,000 hours. It's ridiculous. But that's the thing. We play it so much not because we hate it, obviously. Like,
Yeah.
so, like,
Oh my God.
don't think about anything that we say negative towards the game as bad, because we've played the game so fucking much. We know the good. We know everything that's great about the game. We just want to improve on these things. So it's just
That's why I said before, like, I've seen Monster Hunter grown up since its first title. Like, bro, they're doing great. Trust me, folks. They know what they've done. They know how they've done it. And there's also a whole side of monsters, ideas, techniques that they haven't implemented out in other games. And I'll bring this up. Think about Frontier. It just shut down.
Frontier's got some good stuff. I hope they're bringing some of that to the mainland titles.
There's a lot of wonderful fucking ideas in the game.
If it was that good, would they have shut it down?
It's been, dude, Frontier's old as fuck, dude.
Yeah, Frontier's really.
Was it like 12 years old?
EverQuest 1 is still up after like 22 years.
I don't believe that. I'm gonna Google that shit right now.
Google that shit right now. Google EverQuest subscriptions, bro. What the fuck are you talking about? Dude, don't even start, man. Like, you want to talk about longevity. There are games, and this is why I compare it to, like, Monster Hunter and stuff like that. I've been around, man, for a long time. These games exist, brother.
It is still
They
active.
fucking exist. Yeah, it still is. They're still creating new shit for that game 20 years later. There's a team of like 8 dudes that still make stuff for it, or girls, or
the
whatever.
dream, I guess.
Okay, but anyway, so Frontier was old and dated, Jin. And I don't think that's the end of the Frontier saga. I think they're going to start another series. Like, again, there's been a Monster Hunter game every single year since 2004. It's not done. And especially with World and Iceborne being so fucking popular, they'll come out with more, spin-off titles like Frontier and shit. And they'll come out with new ones. Yeah, the servers are down. It's a shame. I know. I get it. But what if they, a year down the line, they repackage all of Frontier in a single-player game?
They definitely could, man, and they could definitely take what they had and build upon it. I mean, jokes aside, I'm sure that the coding base that they've got there in an MMO style thing isn't going to be done. After Dragon's Dogma and a lot of the other stuff that Capcom did, they're going to look at this as a cash cow. So if you look at what they've done over the past couple of years, you just talked about it. They had Frontier that ran for a long time. They had Dragon's Dogma that they didn't even load up in our area, and people were still like finding a way to log in using VPNs and get into it. They're going to make a play for a big Americanized, I don't want to say Americanized, I'd probably call it Western MMO. That's going to be, I think, the next thing. You talk about a new game coming out every I think that's pretty much the only thing they can do next is a subscription-based model. So what
they can do stories too.
Maybe. I don't know if there's money in that, and I think that's where they're at right now.
Let me pause you there. I honestly, that's where I think Capcom's doing okay right now. I don't think they're going all for the money, because they wouldn't be doing shit like Resident Evil 2 and 3 remakes, all the single-player games and stuff that they're doing, and all these one-time purchase games where the entire gaming market right now is all about, live service models and MMOs and microtransactions. Capcom's not about that shit. And I think that's what's making them stand out. So
can I
go
argue a counterpoint?
Yeah.
I think it's the opposite, brother. I think
really?
here's why. So if you look at the flops that we've seen come out recently, right, over the past 5 years, you look at like Dragon Age 2, Inquisition, a bunch of the BioWare stuff like Anthem. They've really sunk a lot of money into these games, like AAA titles, and they flopped, right? I mean, there's no doubt. Like those games lost a lot of money or didn't come in projection. People got fired, those type of things. Those Resident Evil games were proven back then to be some of the best. That's nostalgia. That's how they're viewed. Resident Evil 2, Resident Evil 3, the remakes that we're talking about, they're viewed through rose-colored glasses of just being these really, really good games. For them, it is not a AAA investment to bring those to the forefront right now because they've got the architecture and the structure for everything that they want in terms of, hey, we'll hire a new guy to do this voice in this section of this character. Hey, we'll have the same layout for everything. They're making what they know is going to sell, and I think that's kind of what they're doing, man. They're focusing in on how can I state this, man? I'm losing my train of thought here. They're focusing in on what they know that we want, that they sold before, and they're making it simple for them. If those games don't do a bajillion sales, they don't lose that much out on, man, because I'm pretty sure they already got it set up, just from the architecture from the previous game. Yeah. It's not that hard to remake something.
Tell that to Warcraft 3.
Oh! Okay, so
you hear that bomb drop?
All right, so yeah, that is. Oh, you're right, dude. Wow.
Wowie.
Vaporized me. I think we've proven now, or they've proven, that there was 2 people that coded for Warcraft 3 Reforged over the past 4 years. There were 2 people. One guy made that first video a couple years ago, and the second guy did everything else and yelled at that guy for showing that fucking video.
I'm just saying, about it. Like,
yeah. Why'd you show that shit, man? I can't make it look like that. What the fuck? Are you fucking kidding me? You gonna tell me we're gonna redo all the cutscenes? Are you full of shit?
I'm just saying, it could be a lot worse.
Come on, Jeff!
Capcom's doing not too bad, is all I'm saying.
Good, one job!
They could do a lot worse on the shit they've been doing. So, I'm just saying, like, in the way we have our gaming space right now, and how shitty gaming is right now, with how overused ideas are, and like there's very little new IPs, and how monetized everything is. Capcom's doing a pretty good service right now, and so I don't think that an MMO subscription based cash cow like that is really what they have in mind. I think they'll do a New Frontier thing, but it's not the priority.
I think
it should be
because they. And now go back with me on this, and please correct me, folks.
Going back.
Street Fighter V.
Yeah!
I think they were the first ones to the big boys, the first of the big boys to really just we're gonna get in here and Street Fighter V, and then now Turbo, and then this, and try that methodology, and then everybody else jumped in behind that bandwagon, but then it didn't work. Because I could have sworn there was a lot of backlash behind it. I don't play Street Fighter, but I remember. A lot of people don't
like Street Fighter V.
So I think Capcom was able to really realize the problem that happened early on, because they were one of the there's I could have sworn there's a big movement starting with Street Fighter V that everyone started doing things like this.
The fighter battle passes and all that crazy shit for fighting games. I think it started with Street Fighter.
So they were the first ones to be burned, so now clearly it makes sense that they're the first ones to do what they're doing right now. Being the black sheep of the group, when in reality they're coming out and saying, well, we did X, Y, and Z in the beginning and we turned everything into chaos and turmoil. We're going to come back out and we're going to start focusing on things that work. We're going to get back to our roots. So I think this is Capcom's redemption. Mm-hmm. They're doing a fantastic job at it now currently because, like Jin was saying, remaking those games that worked for them in the past and then switching enough about it to make it forefront. It's not that difficult to pull out the game from the archive, say this is what we got going on, and now we're going to do this to it. Again, I'll bring Devil May Cry 3 as it. Devil May Cry 3 was a perfectly fine game. It was great for what it was, and then all these new iterations came out. People saw the critical acclaim that, Devil May Cry 5 was fantastic. Why can't we have something like that from previous games? And all of a sudden they looked at their third title and said, you know what? This is one of our most popular titles out of all of them, because this is where it all started, technically, in the timeline. Let's bring it back from the grave. Like Jin said, we already have it coded. Let's just throw styles in there. You don't have to press pause anymore. Bam. They are paying attention. They're paying attention.
Now, speaking of that remake and styles, how awesome would it be if they remade 4U and Gen 3U. Maybe not Gen. Gen's a little new, but
That's the one that had like the aerial styles and shit, right?
yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah, bring that shit back. More aerial. Bring back aerial. Bring back aerial. Yeah.
I feel like if they brought back, it shouldn't be soon. I feel like everything needs to have its own certain time to almost like be forgotten. Because like honestly, think about Resident Evil 2, Resident Evil 3. When was the last time before the remakes were announced that you played that game?
Okay, to be
Oh,
fair,
a long time ago.
to be fair, I watch Resident Evil 2 and Resident Evil 3 runs like twice a year on GDQ. I fucking love that game. So it's not out of my memory.
Too.
Small population though, that does that. We're thinking mass people. So
well, I mean, okay, and the gaming media nowadays, people forget their games, 8 months down the road.
That's true too. So I feel like in time, as time moves forward in the future, they're gonna look at these Monster Hunter games and it'll turn into a thing like, you know how insane it would be if they brought back regular Monster Hunter as simple as it was, but with updated controls? That'd be kind of fucking nutty.
It would be so good.
I don't want to use my right thumb to ever attack ever again. I mean, please, it's like breaking my right arm and saying
playing
have fun.
Claw style on PV or PSP.
Claw.
Clutch Claw was a mistake.
Different claw, Jin. There was an older
Clutch Claw was a mistake.
Your own hand was the claw, bro. You'd be grabbing
we
the
had
controller like,
claw back a long time ago. Different claw.
You're bringing me back, bro.
But that's why I would like a remaster of 3U. 3U had the best monsters, the best maps. I fucking love it. The water combat I know was jank and nobody liked it, but if they remastered it with modern camera controls, I think it would be just so fucking amazing. I would love it.
I love the water combat.
I'm okay with it. Like, one, because I was a gunner and a heavy bow gun with normal 3s underwater is cheese as fuck, because of course it is. But I liked it, what it did to the maps. It made the maps feel so much more immersive, and chasing a monster from land to water just felt great. I loved it.
Hey man, fighting a Chris and then on land and going, okay, maybe you'll get my ass kicked here. I'm not very mobile. Boom, I'm in the water now. You're my turf.
Yeah, exactly. You're fighting him in his territory. Whole different fight. And that was just, everything was amazing about it. I love 3U.
That could be something to touch upon in the future. And that's something Capcom may do. Like, to bring the point back to where we were discussing earlier, I feel like they just need a little more time to pass by. To that 8-month period almost where you said, like, everyone just forgets about it. Well, I wanted to be almost obscure. Like, just, what was that? Like, you have so many people who are in world now that they're interested in the older games, and this is true. I've seen so many people who have started up in the new genre of World and Iceborne dive into older games just to find out that it wasn't as what they expected, which is
not the same. Yeah, it's totally different.
Now, if Capcom can capitalize on a changed version to make that curious person who wants to go backwards, that's its own new genre, guys. If you guys realize, if Capcom focuses on the older titles to change it in a certain way, and however that may be, however they decide to go about it, whether it be an older title, but regardless, make a world player comfortable in old style Monster Hunter. You can do that. I'm telling you, that's something right there. That's worth something right there. I would definitely be playing that again.
Oh,
I would be hella interested in that.
I'm still going back.
That's mind-boggling.
And I'm playing 4U currently on the Citra emulator, because they have it set up so that there's a graphics patch to run all the Switch GU version of the graphics, so it's got better textures, and it also increases the field of view, so it loads grass and stuff further out, and it obviously runs at 60 plus frames. Dude, it is fucking gorgeous.
That right there, that's the first step. The consumer quality person making it happen. That's the first step. Now it's just a matter of time before the companies themselves pick up and say, yo, you know what? Our consumers are literally modding the older games with the game's quality from what we just released. And this is extremely popular. You have one of two choices. You either shut that shit down, like we've seen in other companies, other bigger companies say, do those kind of things, or you can see them relish in that they have people so passionate. Like that's a labor of love, bro. That's not easy to do.
Yeah. Cool stuff.
You go with it. It's cool stuff, and I want to see stuff like that happen. That's why I enjoy watching the mods come out for the Monster Hunter PC and seeing what people in general just do, what the community can do in general. And again, another reason why the Monster Hunter community is so different and so special, because they share things with each other and they just make it work. They make it roll.
Mm-hmm.
You ask and you shall receive kind of shit there, man. It's wild.
Wow. All right, so as we're getting towards the end of our podcast here, I've got a select number of runs I want to kind of just talk about, go over, and highlight, because this week I'm going to be discussing runs that are, I guess, not from popular runners. Well, I guess one of them is, but just from the lesser known people who don't get as many views as they should, and people who don't often post. And they're still solid runs. And so I just want to go over that. So Jin ran away, and I don't know what happened to Jin.
I'm grabbing a beer.
Okay, Jesus Christ.
He wants to partake.
Jesus Christ, man.
Oh my God.
Fucking A.
You didn't say anything. I just saw you get up and leave.
You're in the middle of a speech. I'm not gonna interrupt, motherfucker. Jesus.
He's just gonna, is this in class? He didn't raise his hand. He's just gonna get up and get it, bro.
Motherfucker. All right, let's go to the runs.
So the first run that I posted up was from BJ, also known as the guy with no account, because of course people run two different names and it bugs the shit out of me.
Stupid.
But he did a light bowgun run on Stygian, and whenever you guys are ready, I'm ready to play it.
I'm ready. You let me know. Do the countdown.
Okay, so 3, 2, 1, let's go. So BJ is mostly light bowgun and heavy bowgun player.
He has such a good taste in music. Every time he picks a run, he like takes, I don't know if he like takes time to do it or whatever, but his music choice is always so prime.
Mm-hmm.
I peeked the runs before we started up on this, and I gotta say, I do enjoy it when you're coordinating the music to the run. It brings a level of depth that you normally don't get to see, and that happens. It happens even on stream sometimes. Kudos to them, because that shows again how much passion they have for it. They want it to look good.
Mm-hmm. Yep, and I like it. Now, so the thing BJ's doing is interesting, is he paralyzed Stygian to get the claw attacks off, to guarantee that he only has to claw one time, because light bowguns would need to do it twice, basically, to start. And he's also using the spread 2 light bowgun, not the spread 3, because the Safijiva spread 2 light bowgun has recoil 1 on spread 2, and it's got fucking 9 rounds in the clip, which would make heavy bowgun jealous.
9 in the clip.
It's a jealous, like, just little gross thing. Great bowgun.
I gotta say, I also like the fact that he put down the mine first and then started using the clutch claw to set it off multiple times. That has to be pointed out. These are some techs that I haven't even thought of myself, and I really did like that touch. It made it that much more calculated in my opinion.
Ooh,
I love that
dodge
kickflip.
was sick. He's bodying this dog, dude. Damn.
Oh, dude, the whole fight is BJ
The whole
body.
fight.
Just on his back like a turtle. Just
Pay attention. Pay attention when he kind of like shoots around a couple of times, but then doesn't use the actual aim to be able to just go off naturally. It's normally the tripping shot, I've noticed. It's quite phenomenal.
You don't have to aim to shoot.
Who is this man? Who is he?
And
This mad lad. Don't do it again. Don't do it
Don't
again.
have to aim to shoot.
So here's the thing. So with the Clagger there and grabbing the clutch claw, of course he has to reset his tenderization. But because recoil 1 on the spread 2, you can shoot 3 times like he did before you have to grab him.
Oh!
And just fucking knocks him over again.
Dude, he's just picking this dude apart. Oh my god.
So much of this is like honestly blood, sweat, and tears and calculated positioning. It is so important, you guys.
This dude's legs are
There's
gone.
a reason for everything. It's fucking great.
So when you grab the claw there and then let go, it does actually extend the time that you can shoot him while he's just sitting there. It's free damage. If you don't need a tenderize, if you know when your time should end, don't have to do it. You can get free damage off.
Have we
So
named that tech
close it,
yet?
yep.
Because I've seen that happen from time to time.
I don't think there's a
clutch
name
on
for
muscle
that
to jump
tech.
off. Well, what should we name him then? Let's name it right now.
I don't know. Clagger extender? I don't know.
I don't know. It really he does it
again,
again.
same thing.
And it's free damage, honestly. And if your part's already tenderized and you get the free monster hit from it, try getting in the habit of doing
Look
it.
at
Try
that,
it.
dude.
It's a lot of
He
fun.
set it up.
Dude, this is sick. He literally dodged 3 fucking flips and then just blew this dude's face off. Wow.
It's just management, man. And I give kudos to him because
Done.
look at this.
Oh my god. He killed that thing faster than coronavirus, people. Oh my god. No 14-day incubation.
Get that
Damn.
fashion styles at the end. But yeah.
Damn. Holy
BJ
shit.
Okay, so and then for the record, you know,
And then he
spread.
styled.
This is spread 2. Now, spread 3 has always been considered the go-to spread ammo for bowguns, of course, because it hits so much harder. But spread 2 right now with Safi Jiva weapons is on such a high clip size, the recoil is at its minimal amount, and you can still cram in 2 close range mods.
Yep.
Spread 2 is dangerously strong right now. Don't overlook it. Good stuff.
Honestly, it almost reminds me of the old Giratotis spread 2 from Base World.
Yeah.
That is the this right now that you just witnessed, folks, is a replacement for that. And I've used Giratotis spread 2 in Base World thanks to you, actually, Fem, because I remember you recommending that.
It's a great bowgun.
It fucking worked. You had fun, and I threw wide range on it, and people were like, "What are you doing?" It's awesome. It's awesome.
Yeah, I love that
pretty
bowgun.
awesome.
However, the Beototis bowgun is also fantastic. Not as good as the Safi, just because Safi Jiva bowguns are absolutely insane. But
But it's
Beototis
usable.
does everything. It does spread 2, spread 3, all the status MOs. It can run stickies, you name it. Great bowgun.
Beototis is that weird MVP monster, I feel, out of Iceborne. A lot of people have a lot of weapons coming out of that thing, hitting for ridiculous
Charge blade?
amounts of
Beototis
Charge blade being the one I was thinking of.
Yeah, fucking
That was-
rushes.
People like, oh, it's the first monster in Iceborne. Well, I guess I'm gonna make its charge blade. Oh, I don't have to make anything else ever again.
Yeah. All right, so the next one I have is actually from ZeldaHunter, who is another. I don't think he actually streams, but he's an artist, does Twitch, not Twitch stuff, Twitter stuff, but he's all around on all the other hunters and stuff on Twitch. And he doesn't post runs all that often, and I just want to give it to him because he has an excellent dual blades run on Stygian and
My
Ogre, which we
goodness.
just did with DJ. So whenever you guys are ready on that one.
Count it off, boys.
Got it loaded.
3, 2, 1, let's go.
I gotta say, I remember when Zelda was like saying, I'm gonna do this. I'm going to make a Stygian dual blade run, and they said they got it, and I'm very happy to be actually witnessing it with you guys here. Like I saw this earlier today, and I said,
Yep.
it hit home. I was like, this is reality.
They started
Someone
with
wanted to do it.
protective polish because it gives them 60 seconds of just fuck all sharpness, so you can just go absolutely ham on a monster. Got hit by the roar. Not a big deal, to be honest, because Zinogre always attacks after his roar.
You know, I think I've probably spoken to ZeldaHunter maybe once or twice, and I've seen the individual probably all over the streams. They're always just so positive, so friendly, making jokes. Good to have people like that in the community, man. Hopefully Zelda starts doing more runs. They deserve a little bit more credit.
Showing off the dual blades, so he didn't start with the tenderize because dual blades actually has an attack that leads into the tenderize now with the new patch, and automatically got those legs tenderized. Super awesome.
Saying, like, to touch base on what Zelda just did there, Zelda actually continued the attack even though they weren't facing the Zinogre in a certain way to be able to land the tenderizing hit. And in runs, in particular for this one here, it assisted Zelda so much more to be able to hit the monster. Because look at the damage that it's doing right now on the Zinogre because its head landed there because of the previous tenderize that it looked like they were missing. This is all, again, calculated gameplay by Zelda.
Yep, it's good shit, and dual blades got a really nice buff with that too. Hitting for
man,
easy
yes.
70s to
Ooh,
100s.
good trip.
Oof. Got some good damage now.
Also, I definitely want to point out, pay attention to Zelda's proccing of demon mode and on and off in between attacks. Literally in between attacks to regain stamina and enough stamina to go into Zelda's more powerful attacks.
Good
It
spot.
can be such a kill of time if you miss one of your demon dances. You're standing there, A, you're a sitting duck, B, you're not doing damage to the monster, and in running, that's not helping. But pay attention. You'll see Zelda turning on and off many
instant
times.
trip on the
Mid-combo.
enrage.
Nice
Okay,
trip.
so
nice
this
trip.
is huge too because Stygian only is really weak to elemental damage while it's in rage. So getting the trip immediately means free damage and means free elemental damage, which is huge. Do you notice he's hitting a lot harder? Goes from 50s
Oh,
to
yeah.
80s. Crazy boost in damage.
That is a beautiful manipulation of the monster's movements. Like, goes off with another tenderize here. Like it's all calculated gameplay. Zelda clearly knows his target here, where he's trying to make sure every hit counts.
Ooh, I like the clutch claw after the attack too. Good
That was
stuff.
nice. Opens up a lot more damage.
Right
Good
into
dodge.
the demon mode to get up to the dodge. You have good stamina. You're able to attack.
Gotta punish those
I
charges.
have to really commend Zelda's uses of that. That's awesome.
Wow, I'm surprised he ducked underneath that kickflip. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, that was ballsy, very ballsy.
Knowing your monster, it's positioning.
It's positioning so huge. People always want to know what's the best. Fuck, it's done already. Fucking Christ.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, you see?
Wow, I thought that was going to be a cap. Nice.
Jesus. Yeah,
Nope,
no, that's
this one
TA,
is-
man. That was solid TA running. Good job.
Yep.
Look at all that element.
Good job, Zelda.
Woo.
People always want to know,
Respect.
what's the best set? What should I use? It's like, dude, you know what matters most?
Nope.
Learning the monster.
Yep.
Dodging the hit. That's what matters more than anything else right now. Well, forever. That's
It
Monster
is the
Hunter.
key. And 1,000,000% it's been the key since day one. Learning your target, it's just absolutely detrimental. You're able to position yourself. You can stand there. I remember one time accidentally I started sharpening and I put myself in a spot that like it wouldn't hit me. An Odogaron that I was going up against, it did a flip and it did that weird like whistle move that from Master Rank that like whips around in a circle like a drift car.
We call them the zoomies.
The
Well,
zoomies.
I was standing in between its tail and its foot, and I was in the middle, and it went around me twice. It was insane. If you can accurately repeat that, imagine that kind of amazing. That's a power. Imagine that kind of strength against a monster when you know it so well. You know, if I stand right here and I don't do anything, it won't hit me. Like that is power. Knowledge is power, folks. Fight the monsters over and over. Do it.
That's right. Knowledge is power. So the next one we have up is AkantoreX, who everyone should know who Akantor is. Charge Blade
Who's that?
aficionado. You know Akantor. Shut up, Jin. He's on all the Discords. He hangs around. He streams. He does the stuff. He's got a Brute Tigrex Charge Blade TA run, which is straight up amazing. Whenever you guys are ready. Now, I picked this one because I didn't want to do his Ruiner Nergigante he recently posted on PC, only because he already crushed his time by 10 seconds. Unfortunately, his PC didn't save it. It shows up just nothing but black screen, so he's got to go and redo the run. So, I'm sorry, Akantor. I really am.
We love you, Akantor.
I've had it happen. We're gonna do this run instead. So
I like how you were like, I want to do videos for people who don't have a lot of views and who deserve more runs. And look here, 40,000 subscribers for AkantoreX.
To be fair, no, okay, yeah, it's just I like Akantor, so.
There it is. Some honesty, some brutal fucking honesty. I like the guy. I'm gonna fucking play it, Jin. Shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
All right.
Quiet.
Lay down below.
Okay, so 3, 2, 1, let's jam.
First off, I love the music.
Got that upbeat music.
It makes me feel like something is going to happen, and you need to see this. Don't you fucking get up and do something else.
Also, Akantor plays on widescreen if you haven't noticed.
Okay, that's what's that's
Yeah.
fucking my shit up. I'm like, what the fuck?
Yeah, he plays on ultra wide, so his screen is way out there. And I need a fucking ultra wide monitor because it looks fucking dope, dude.
Your mom's ultra wide. Oh!
That was a good one.
Boom, roasted.
Okay, so this is a common technique in TA runs, is to get a tenderize when you wouldn't normally be able to, and just take the roar and fall off. Oh, Akantor's got the blood effects mod. Nice, I like it. Of course, he's playing on PC. Gotta have those frames, man.
I like this song too.
Ooh,
Final Fantasy music, if I'm listening to this correctly, by the way.
I'll have to look after the fact. Maybe it is.
Final Fantasy 8 man with the machine gun.
Yep, there you go.
I'm surprised he got the stagger there. He turned, and so the entire SAD hit the arm. That was nice. I don't know if that was intended or not. Refreshing the tenderize. Yeah. Good little guard points. Boom, instant topple. This is how you have to deal with Tigrex. Go for the wings, topple him, and you get free head damage.
Be in control of the monster.
KO, Impact Mantle.
Ooh,
2 times.
nice.
Now, if you guys didn't
Again.
know, if you break the head of monsters like Tigrex, their roar is actually weaker, so that you can guard point them easier without having to get guard skills on. CB Frosty told me that one. RB Frosty.
I actually
Sorry,
know
I'm drunk.
that.
Stevie
I
Frosty.
He was Charge Plate! Leave me alone!
Shout out to Frosty. Love you, buddy.
I can always appreciate a good charge blade.
Charge Plate is a
The
very
positioning and the way
technical
you
weapon.
use the weapon itself is so important in this standpoint. Like, his distance to be able to just pull off certain moves is key.
Yeah, you see him
And it looks
spacing
like
to
he's
back
dancing
up for
around,
SAD.
Everything's on purpose, man.
Took an unfortunate hit. Happens, especially on Brute. Didn't get hit because Brute.
Cause Brute.
One of my favorite monsters, man.
I like Brute too. It's a good Brute.
Yeah, very good fight.
Now, Tenderize lasts 90 seconds. You probably didn't need a re-Tenderize there, but it's easy to lose track.
Being in control of the monster.
Okay, get that topple.
It's
Ooh,
there you
not
go.
Get it. Got slapped.
This is one of Aki's sloppier runs.
Yeah. Brute in general is just a very chaotic fight, but yeah, it's not. I mean, they could definitely be improved. They can get around on 330, I think.
I don't think I've ever seen Akantor make a mistake outside of this run.
Nobody's perfect unless you're Sybil.
I'm just saying, like, I don't really know a lot of Akantor runs that I'd be like, oh yeah, there's room for improvement. This would be like, I think the first I've seen in like a year.
Yeah, fair enough. He is also playing.
I mean, he's usually, him and Rainy are like the de facto top usually. You know what I mean?
Okay, just ended like that. Fair enough.
That works.
really
He is also playing on PC with less than optimal gear because we don't have any. Like, look at that. He's fucking running Tio's crown from high rank. Leave him alone. When we get Safi Jiva,
Hey, first off, gear has nothing to do with getting hit. Secondly, I'm not knocking the guy. I'm just saying his runs are normally perfect. That's
Right.
all I'm stating.
I know. Yeah. So that was good.
Absolutely.
fantastic stuff.
Akantor always has good stuff, and he posts all the time. But he needs more love. So
He's
then,
always posting runs. He's always posting runs.
So then the last run we have here is from Crowoly, who you probably don't know. He's on our Discord. But he does a lot of dual blades, and I think he does light bowgun too. And he's our Korean translator because we have SSH on the Discord as well. And so if we need to talk to him, he's our middleman to talk in Korean. So I want to give Crow a bit more love here. And he did a fantastic brute run with dual blades that is faster than my heavy bowgun run. So I wanted to show that one off. So whenever you guys are ready.
I'm ready.
3, 2, 1, let's go. And dual blades is in a great spot right now for TA runs with that
Yes,
auto
it is.
tenderize post Safi Jiva, dude. It's doing good stuff.
The whole auto tenderize, and this touches base. Like, if they're able to do this with dual blades and sword and shield, it is, and it's worked in the combo. These runs that we saw here, you see a more natural approach to the way that they're attacking, and to roll these auto tenderizes, it just solidifies like the weapon. This is what the weapon was meant to do. This is how it was supposed to be played. Like, you
Not
see
claw.
this concept going. Yeah, claw is a. I have a funny opinion on it. It's like, it's there, it's doing its own thing, and it's an almost like a necessary tool. It's sad, but if you have these options for people to incorporate claw into their attack and get the tenderize in one shot, like it should feel like a reward. Hey, you played the game hard enough to know this monster enough when to do this single claw attack. You got it. That's it. I like these. I like these runs. I like these attacks with these new claw mechanics.
I'm okay with Gunner not having auto tenderize because they don't need it. Wow. Okay, so mid-fight, he predicted the enrage roar to go for that sushi fish or whatever. No, whatever the fish is to auto.
Wet fish.
Wet fish. Okay, to auto sharpen, and he's running can't talk. He's running protective polish, so he now has infinite sharpness. Really good use of sushi wet fish. God damn it.
Mid-fight, when you're able to have the resources to be able to attack a monster and then disengage and quickly use that great wet fish to get that single sharpness.
Good use of
he
claw
knows
here.
Clearly. Yup.
So
he knows this. He knows brute.
Yeah, he got the attack in and then clawed for free damage and then got more free damage. He didn't need a tenderize because he knows he's got 90 seconds to get another tenderize. He got the topple.
There's the topple. And just instantly getting in there, being able to be in every inch and crevice of the brute Tigrex. Another roar dodge. He anticipated.
Constantly
he didn't choose to attack. Right before too, he went into demon mode. He knew what he was doing. I think this is a great example of a runner who knows exactly what a monster is doing. So he takes that to his advantage, and sadly, Brute Tigrex is being minced into tiny little bits and pieces because he really is comfortable with this monster. You can see it. Look at that.
He's a G, man. He's dodging everything.
And a lot of people like Brute more than regular Tigrex because Brute, when he charges, he usually stops early to roar, which is easily predictable and good to dodge, unlike base Tigrex, who just runs back and forth constantly.
Running simulator, bro.
Nice dodges. Not getting hit by anything.
Honestly, I think in this run he didn't miss a single one.
I'm surprised he hasn't run a stuff. Wow, dude, just constant roar dodges. Jesus Christ.
Look at this man.
Missed the hit there. Unfortunate, but not a big deal.
Very unfortunate, but he makes up for it. In the fact that he dodged all those roars, he made up the time.
Right.
Honestly.
Another one.
This was honestly, I think, a perfect run.
It's got the topple. Yeah, it's very smooth. God, DB's got some mad damage. Oh my god. Melted that thing.
Yes, he did. TA.
335. God.
When you know a monster, this is what happens, folks. You're able to dodge through every single attack. Anticipation is key here. He sharpened in the middle of the fight, bro.
Yeah, he popped a fucking wet fish right in the middle. He knew what was going on.
Crowoly knows what's up, man.
It was a good run. Really good DB run.
Great run.
He's running 4-piece Silverlos because kind of have to. I'm really surprised you didn't run Safi Jiva, to be honest. I thought Safi Jiva was better for Diablo or Double Blades. God, I'm too fucking drunk. Safi Jiva for Dual Blades because the flat 150 per hit would be better than True Crit Element. But I'm not the Dual Blades runner, so nice job.
Was there a Flame Lunastra Sword and Shield run from what I remember?
We do have that one actually. We have more Sword and Shield, which we had on last week. I do have a Sword and Shield versus Lunastra. I don't know the fucking name because I can't read moon runes, but it's there. Do you guys have that one open?
Yep,
I have it.
All right, so let's go in 3, 2, 1. Let's jam.
Boom.
I love me some Sword and Shield. Throwing that out there right now. The damage buff.
Dude,
through the roof now.
It's ridiculous. So most non-TA, so this is the non-TA run. This is the only non-TA run we have on right now. But non-TA Sword and Shield typically always runs Frostcraft. Frostcraft on Sword and Shield is bonkers right now. It's insane. And I love to see a monster like fucking Lunastra, of all things, get destroyed.
Yes. I gotta say, this run in particular, you're about to watch, guys. This setup for this is absolutely just blew my mind. So you'll see what I mean in a few seconds.
Because he has to proc heroics. That's how all non-TA run is. Look at this shit. Getting bombed.
Look at all this setup, dude.
But he's not going to roll it off because he wants that fire damage. And then he's got to pull Lunastra across the map to where those pillars are underneath Camp 1. It's big brain strat days over here, dude.
This Yo, I saw this and like my mind blew over like 1,000 times. I said, yo, you had to bring this Lunastra to where you are with no health. You got to get those heroic strats going down, man. This is impressive.
Now, if you look at the mini map, Lunastra's fucking, he was nowhere, and then he managed to pull it all the way over here.
All the way over.
And then he used the crystal burst to stop it, and then boom, pillar. Now we start the fight.
Yep.
Auto tenderizes.
This is a hunter that knows its target and says, I understand that Lunastra is going to get aggroed. If I remember correctly, you guys touched base on this where you said if the monster was flashed, it's going to like seek you more quickly. So then the monster comes at you quicker when it's after it gets out of being flashed, if I remember correctly.
Right, because it wants to find a target.
So he took that into consideration. This man is hitting for 400 plus per hit on Sword and Shield.
Sword and Shield hits so fucking hard. And then you also got to see the Frostcraft bar refills whenever you do the claw attack because you put away your weapon to do it. So it just it plays in so well.
I honestly don't even know how to feel about that one. Thinking about it, how you just mentioned them, it's like they had a program that they knew you technically put your weapon away when you're in that action. Mm-hmm. You're gonna regain your Frostcraft from it. Might as well take advantage of it, and you clearly see what kind of devastating power we have when a hunter really knows its target here.
And then also know he's got one more crystal burst left. He got the KO. He's running Impact Mantle because Lunastra is very susceptible to KOs, which is her only downfall. And she's also right below that other crystal pillar in this area.
This right here is my favorite. Right now, what this hunter's about to do. Just latch on. All right, I could do crystal, but I'm going to stand here. Change mantles. Get back on. And then launch into the
That
pillar.
is some RNG like crazy shit because you had to get the right attack that wouldn't hit you, and then you just fucking threw Luna back into that pillar. Crazy shit.
God, you gotta understand this, man. This hunter is one hit away from dying, whether it's from anything.
Fucking a blue flame patch on the ground will kill him.
Yep. Calculated to an extreme. I have such an appreciation.
Boom,
Look at
pillar.
it. Stop by crystal burst into pillar.
Done.
Yep. I have such an appreciation for people who run like this, and it just elevates the gameplay so much.
People think TA is the end all be all. Nuh-uh, man. TA is a whole nother ball game. You gotta appreciate everything. So much more goes in. Look at fucking Hornbreak. Luna's already down less than 20%.
Now the damage starts rolling in. You got the horn break, you got that face break now.
Done.
You didn't even get a chance to see what kind of hits they were doing.
Crazy damage. The setup was amazing.
Slaughter.
Most insane setup I've ever seen on freestyle like this. This is insane.
Yeah, I love seeing a Luna get bullied by Sword and Shield of all things. Still running
Everyone
the
loves
Draken
Luna
arms.
get beat up.
Draken still pulling its weight. If you don't get hit, your defense doesn't matter.
Yep.
Good stuff.
Wow.
Indeed.
Absolutely impressive.
So that was all the runs we had planned out for this week. So, Mother Coconuts, anything you want to say before we depart?
Well, thank you very, very much for having me here. It was an absolute pleasure to partake in the discussion, in the watching, and just being able to demonstrate. I think what you guys are doing in general is a phenomenal service to the whole community because it takes time. It takes work. Everybody needs to understand as content creators, we all have a lot of things that we do outside of what we do when we hit that go live button or when we hit that record button.
Except Jin, because he doesn't have work anymore.
Shots fired. Insert meme here.
Oh!
Shit like this, though.
This guy!
People, you guys at home are watching this, and we're all feeling for Jin right now, but we're all watching this going,
A2,
goddamn.
Brutus! A2!
They're making it happen, and this is for us. This is their passion projects. I appreciate you guys, what you're doing. You guys deserve so much for this here. The loading screen, top tier in my book, guys. Thank you very much, Wiggly Nation, hunters alike. Keep it wiggly, wiggle on, my friend.
Thank you for drunk as shit. Thank you for stopping by, Moko. I always love hanging out in your streams. Glad to have you on board.
Thank you.
Yep. Thank you, sir.
My pleasure, guys. Thank you for having me.
Jin, you got anything before we bounce out?
Nope. Love, peace, and chicken grease to everybody out there. Thanks for watching and hanging out, man. All things Monster Hunter are always going to be cool, and we'll be seeing you next week. Have a wonderful evening, everyone. Talk to you soon.
All right. See ya, people.